Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 345 for Tuesday, the 29th of April, 2014. Nice to see you. I'm Robbie Ferguson.
I'm Krista Wells.
Krista, tonight we are going to be talking with the guys from CDNJS. We've got Ryan Kirkman here, as well as Thomas Davis joining us tonight to talk about their service, how you can use that to speed up your website. Absolutely free.
It's very cool.
So you don't want to miss out on that. If you have a website and you want to make it go faster, stick around. We're going to be talking to those guys in just a couple minutes' time.
Absolutely. And here's what is coming up in the newsroom tonight. The U.S. has ordered Microsoft to hand over private user information held on servers in Ireland. The Heartbleed bug is allowing security researchers to hack the hackers. Yahoo is getting in on the digital television boom. Exciting. And so it begins. Microsoft has announced a serious exploit for all Internet Explorer users, and XP users are in trouble. Stick around. These stories are coming up later in the show.
It'll be a good one. We've also got Eco Alkalines batteries to give away a full year supply. Find out if you were the winner tonight. All you have to do is just stick around and watch the show. We'll see you after this.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Starring Sasha Dermatis, Hillary Rumble, Krista Wells, Eric Kidd, and your host, Robbie Ferguson.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Hey, so nice to have you here. My name's Robbie Ferguson.
I'm Krista Wells.
Krista, I am excited to have some great guys coming on the show in just a couple of minutes' time.
Absolutely.
From CDNJS. Stick around. You want to find out all about their service and how you can put it into use on your website. Before we get into that, Krista, take it away.
Oh, well, Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. That's cat5.tv/TPN and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters, cat5.tv/IAIB.
I really wanted to say thank you to everybody who has donated to the show this week. It is very, very helpful. And we keep this show free for you to view, and your donations help us to be able to do that. So thank you so much to everyone who sent in a contribution. cat5.tv/C will take you to our tip jar. And of course, we've got a really interesting way that you can support the show as well by going to shop.category5.tv, and you'll see some links there for products, whether they be our products like shirts and stickers and things with our logo on it, or even some links to Amazon products. Because we're actually partnered with Amazon, and if you go to our website, category5.tv, click on Support Us, and you'll see our affiliate links. You can actually go to Amazon. Really interesting way to support the show, because if you're going to buy something on Amazon anyways, doesn't matter if it's amazon.com.ca, .uk, it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
We're affiliated with all of them. It's a neat way to support the show because you don't end up paying any more, but a small percentage of your purchase goes toward supporting Category 5 Technology TV, so we appreciate everyone who has done that. Also, make sure you go over to our mobile site. It's m.cat5.tv. You'll be able to check out the show there live, as well as listen live, and you can check out the back episode as well. That is m.cat5.tv. Without any further delays, CDNJS.
Do they get a drum roll?
A drum roll would be great. Hey, CDNJS! They are a service that basically speeds up your website. I'm going to let them do the talking. Ryan and Thomas, it's so nice to see you guys.
Thanks very much, Robbie.
Nice to have you here. First of all, I want to let's introduce yourselves. I see Ryan at the top there. We are on. This is kind of interesting because today is the first day kind of that the group conversations for Skype came out for free. It's now available. So this is the first experiment to get this thing going. So we've got
Kinda
both of you guys here.
Guinea pigging it a little
Yeah,
bit.
kind of guinea pigging a little bit. But it looks like it's working out. So CDNJS, what is it?
Great question. Thomas or me? What do you reckon?
Take it away.
All right, so CDNJS. So a little bit of background. Thomas and I have been building websites together for almost a decade now. And right out of college, we did a startup. So probably one of the most valuable things to come out of that startup, which is now defunct, is CDNJS. So way back in the distant history of internet time, so early 2011, the only public sort of free CDN around at that time was Google Ajax libraries. And what they did was they hosted jQuery and Dojo and Moo tools, and that's awesome. But we sort of were using some smaller libraries at that time, for example, Underscore and Backbone. And we're like, all right, guys, would you mind adding Underscore and Backbone to your CDN? And in typical Google fashion, there was absolutely no response. So it was about that time that actually Amazon CloudFront had just been released. So it was sort of possible for a small independent developer to access this massive CDN. Mm-hmm. So we thought, hey, why don't we make our own? So I'm sure a whole bunch of other people have that problem. And here we are today.
So interestingly enough, though, to create our own CDN, let's say I, as a user, wanted to put my assets for my website into, say, you use CloudFront as the example. Well, there are other advantages to something like CDNJS. I'm going to just kind of hit on caching. Maybe we should talk a little bit about that. Before I move on, though, I already know that there's a lot of viewers that are probably going, what? Sorry, what? What does all this mean? Basically, your website is, it's code, and we use different libraries to build websites. A popular one that Ryan mentioned there is called jQuery, and that gives us access to certain functionality that allows us, the website developers, to do some pretty cool things, so that your browsing experience is enhanced. So it could be anything as simple as a drop-down menu to full user interface and the user experience itself. So hosting those things on my own server is going to pull resources from my own server, and if there are 100 people looking at my website all at once, it's pulling all this
down
data
a little bit.
Yeah, and it slows things down, and your user, the response time is going to be slowed down. So I can put them on S3 and CloudFront, but what's the advantage? I mean, I touched on caching a little bit. Thinking about CDNJS, how do you do things differently?
Okay, Thomas, how about get that one?
All right, so a content distribution network. Essentially, our Cloudflare network has, I think it's about 24 different worldwide locations. Is that right, Brian?
Yeah, 26 now, in fact, I think.
Yeah. So essentially, when you serve your files, if you had an American server, you would put that file on your American server, and anyone from requesting it from around the world would have to bring it down from your American server. The best part about a content distribution network is that before anyone pulls it down, it is copied to those 24 different servers. And when someone requests a file from your website, it will actually figure out the closest location to pull those files from.
Right.
So there's an edge location, it's called, in Australia. And we can actually serve your website from Australia instead of serving it from the United States for Australians, which saves a lot of latency and a lot of time for users.
Sure. So to take that and kind of summarize that for the viewers, if Jod is watching in the Netherlands, for example, and he goes to our website, he's going to actually be receiving the assets through CDNJS from a server that's more local to him than, say, our US servers.
That's absolutely right. And in fact, there's another benefit to using a CDN as well. So browsers these days are really smart. And what they're going to do is they're going to look at all of the files they have to grab off the server, and they'll inspect the URL. And if the URL is something that they've seen before, what they'll actually do is they'll have it in their cache, which is just basically a dump of all of the assets that they've seen on other files.
Right.
And what they can do is, if they've seen that URL before, they can pull that asset, or say jQuery, out of their local browser cache without even having to go to the server. So, for example, if our friend in the Netherlands has been to any other website that uses CDNJS and loads jQuery, his browser will already have that, and so he won't even incur the round trip time to our edge location.
So we're basically looking at instantaneous response time. Say if I go to Krista's website and she's using jQuery, using the CDNJS kind of hosting platform, and then goes to Category5TV and it loads it from my computer. So it's instantaneous. It doesn't even have to get it through the web. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah, there's there's a bit more complexity to it these days. Chrome does some intelligent guesses as to whether it wants to reload content or not, and Firefox as well. But that's the general idea. Absolutely.
Very cool. So the fact is there are other CDNs out there. I think about, in particular, you mentioned Google, and a lot of people use Google for jQuery, and that's the example that we're using. So what sets CDNJS apart from, say, Google or Microsoft CDN services?
So I'll go off Ryan's introduction of CDNJS. When we first introduced it, we actually set up a user voice account, which back in the day was a system for people to vote for which libraries they think should be on a CDN. And we had this idea that we would try to make it as very collaborative and like a community movement as opposed to just a company. And so we had this huge community movement, and we had a lot of loyal adopters in the first year. And over the last 4 years, I think we have about 800 contributors a year now.
Sorry, 800?
This many contributors. What was that, sorry?
Sorry, it was 800. I didn't catch that part there. There was 800 what?
Contributors. Open source contributors. So on GitHub.
Contributors to the project?
Yeah.
Really? So you guys aren't it?
No. It's a community effort. And
very cool.
We have there's probably a lot more than 800 people too. That's just what GitHub seems to report more or service. And with that many people, we're actually able to maintain a good collection of libraries. So Google actually only has about 10 libraries, I believe, maybe a bit more now. But CDNJS boasts about 800 plus libraries, and we keep them up to date using the community.
You broke up a little bit there, Thomas. Did you say that you have more than 800 libraries versus Google's 8 or 10?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. And we have a decent response time for keeping the versions up to date. We try very hard to make sure it's in 24 hours, but sometimes we fall behind. It can take up to a week for us to update a version sometimes.
Sure.
But for the major libraries, we tend to keep them up to date. And we have, not only do we have part-time contributors who come in and send a pull request on GitHub occasionally, but we have a few main curators, we call them essentially, such as Pete Cooper, who I'll give a shout out to. For the last year, Pete Cooper, who's just another moderator of ours who essentially has been updating everything daily and making sure everything is up to date. And another one is Drew Failing from Australia.
And how many? Now we know. Okay, so about 800 people are contributing to the project. We've got several hundred libraries, and I can attest to that. A recent experience that I had was I'm learning to use Bootstrap, and I know that's kind of silly because it's a little, we're on Bootstrap 3, but I'm old school, so I like to make my own stuff, and so this is a way for me to save some time as I'm programming a website. So what did I do is I went onto CDNJS, and I was astounded at how many of the assets that I required, be it the libraries, be it the CSS, all minified, mind you, and all of these supplemental plugins for Bootstrap, and Bootstrap just being an example, there is a ton of available stuff on CDNJS for me to use to increase the productivity, of me as a web designer, but also produce the speed increase the speed of my website through just the delivery mechanism that's there. So with that many libraries and understanding that you've got so many people that are maintaining these, how do you keep on top of, say, new versions coming out, or perhaps with there was an exploit recently with one of the video players on HTML5. How do you address those kinds of things, like say a cross browser scripting bug or whatever, cross XML or something like that?
Yeah. Well, I'll let Ryan. Do you want to cover the video and I'll cover the auto update?
Yeah, so to give you a bit of a background, so the way we started this was we wanted it to be a completely open and transparent process. And so we're hosting it on a platform called GitHub. So absolutely everything you do, you can see a complete history of the project from its very inception right till now. So what we've done up until now is we've asked our users to sort of tell us when they want something to be updated. So either we've gone ourselves and manually pulled a new version, or we've waited for, say, Robbie to come along and say, hey guys, there's a new version of jQuery. Here's the files I'd like you to add. What we do is we verify them against the official source, make sure that there's no malicious content. For example, Robbie's not trying to hack a whole bunch of websites on CDNJS.
Sure.
And then we'll merge that into the main project. So that worked fine for quite a few years. But now, as we've said, we've sort of had 800 contributors in, say, the past year, which is a huge number of pull requests. That's many more than one pull request every day. So what we've done now is we've said, all right, how can we automate what we're doing? How can we take the manual process out of this and turn it into tooling? And that's what Thomas has got to talk about.
He defers to you, Thomas.
Looks like
I'm not sure if your mic has stopped working there, Thomas.
I muted my mic.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
Oh, he muted it.
Yeah. So, we were spending a lot of time, even with good people coming on to help us out the project for like a lot of the time. It still took a lot of our time. So recently we've been experimenting with ideas on how we can actually get libraries up to date on CDNJS all the time. So essentially real-time versions. And it's quite easy to do, but it's a little bit problematic. So our first attempt at it is that there's the npm registry, which is an Node.js sort of package manager. And the npm registry is the go-to place for downloading assets. Ruby gems is the equivalent, or even you could say like Debian packages.
Sure, yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of the projects on CDNJS are also uploaded to npm, and npm revolves around authors of those libraries pushing their source code to it.
Yep.
So essentially, what we then get is a big repository with of valid packages uploaded by the proper authors, which we can actually pull down and trust the source.
Okay.
So we've been enabling quite a few libraries on CDNJS to just pull down from that source and check every 15 minutes, essentially, to see if there's any version. If there is, bring it down, extract it, and upload it to the CDN. So we're up to 100 libraries now that have this updated.
It sounds really similar to, say, a Linux repository kind of methodology. Is that kind of the way that you're distributing and keeping things up to date?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very similar.
Very cool. So obviously very well thought out as far as the how CDNJS works. Very technical, and so a lot of the information, some of us understand, some of us don't. Thomas, for example, I heard something about pushing a branch, something along those lines. Anyways, inside thing. He just got it. Just got it. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. So. My question, so I'm an end user, okay? So I'm not the guy who's pushing out on GitHub new packages and things like that to keep you up to date. I'm Robbie Ferguson, who's programming a website, and I need jQuery. I'm used to downloading it to my server and putting it into the JS folder and linking to it. Now I hear about CDNJS. I hear that it's so much better. You guys have grown exponentially. I want you to talk about briefly about how many people are using your service, but what kinds of fears do I have now if I'm hosting with you? What happens, what's the reliability? Do I have to worry about my site breaking because I'm hosting assets with somebody else and I'm doing so for free? How is this possible?
Right. So first of all, in regards to the reliability, so the people or the company handling our backend infrastructure is Cloudflare. So essentially, they host a huge number of very high-profile websites.
Sure do.
They've been involved in a number of DDoS mitigation attacks, so their network capacity is phenomenal. And so what they're doing is they're providing the edge locations for us. In regards to growth, the growth has been phenomenal as well. So when we started back in 2011, we got 6,000 hits in the first month. We're like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So at this level of growth, we might have 100,000 hits by the end of the year. So those numbers have sort of been and gone and very quickly, and we're up to billions of hits a month right now, used on over 150,000 websites and a bunch of really big name websites. For example, Xbox.com is one of the users. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of lost track of the other questions, which were there.
So some other sites too using CDNJS. I think McDonald's was even using CDNJS at one point. CartoonNetwork.com is using CDNJS, and PC Advisor in the UK is using CDNJS.
Yeah.
So a fair amount of large websites use CDNJS. Also, we have a trusted reputation at this point. For the last 4 years, we essentially haven't had any. Up until 2 weeks ago, we haven't had anything, any security concerns at all. And we haven't had any major downtimes. We haven't supplied 100% uptime, but I don't know who has. So I'm not about that. And as Ryan said, Cloudflare's network is just phenomenal.
Very cool. Yeah, we use Cloudflare here at the show as well, and it's been a fantastic way for us to cut down. When DDoSes come, it's a really great way for us to be able to thwart the attacks. So we have a lot of faith in Cloudflare here as well. My other question there for you, Ryan and Thomas, from CDNJS.com. How is it that you provide the service for free, and how does that work as a business model for you guys?
Right. So basically, CDNJS has always been completely free and in fact open source. The way we originally did it was we hosted it on Amazon CloudFront, and we did some projections, and we said, all right, if we get 10 million hits a month, that'll be about $30 a month. We can pay that out of our own pocket. But we very rapidly blew through that sort of usage. So at a later stage, one of the early JavaScript engineers at Cloudflare sort of noticed us, and eventually Cloudflare approached us sort of about a partnership about helping us deal with bandwidth usage. So what they've done is they said, hey guys, we sort of have massive network capacity, and we have enough spare capacity to host you guys for about as long as you want to work with us. So that's been the situation for about a year or two now, at least.
Okay.
Yep. And also CDNJS has kind of evolved into two projects at once. One, we offer a CDN via Cloudflare with a partnership with Cloudflare. But also, it's kind of just turned into a package manager, essentially. So it's a big collection of files. And there's no reason why anyone can't actually serve these files, because it's all open source. Google Libraries, if they have a file like they should have more libraries, they can essentially just upload CDNJS to their CDN and serve it. And the same goes for Amazon or even GitHub. And this has been the case because we actually have problems in China at the moment with Cloudflare. China's Great Wall of China blocks occasionally. So what we've had is there's been Chinese open source developers who have got in contact with content distribution networks in China and actually have, I think it's called CDNJS.cn, and they actually offer the Chinese version of CDNJS.
Yeah.
And we don't have any official endorsement or anything like this or any partnership, but there's no it's completely fine, and people have married CDNJS in their own networks.
That's interesting. Is there documentation about that particular issue? Because I, as a developer who is, developing my own program, my show, Category5TV, into mainland China, we run into the same thing as you guys, where the government blocks Western content, and so it becomes a real problem for distribution and getting our product out there. So it's interesting to note that, so CDNJS may have problems in China, but we have a way around it. Is there any documentation available for that kind of thing, or?
Actually, we haven't actually put up any notice. The problem is that it does work in China. So there's three cases. It works in China, it's very slow in China, or it doesn't work at all.
Right.
And we actually haven't had enough reports of it not working at all. Yep. And I've had people say it does work in China. So we're a little bit iffy there. I guess we should put up a statement, though, about just issues in general.
Yeah.
And also in regards to using this service in China, it's kind of like in our best interest to trust Cloudflare to negotiate those concerns, because they have a vested interest in ensuring that their millions of websites are accessible in China.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure as professional network operators, they have the right connections to be able to negotiate a deal, if any. Because trying to use sort of like Otherwise, it's just a case of trying to stay one step ahead of the Great Firewall of China. Like, all right, they've blocked this service, then this service, then this service.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cat and mouse game.
Yeah, no, and we've absolutely been there, and we do have a fair number of viewers who are watching in China. So let us know what your experience is if you're in mainland China. I know, I receive emails, and a lot of you tend to use proxies and ways around this particular issue. But it would be interesting to note. So, but you guys are doing a great job, and it's a fantastic service. Do you have any particular use cases that are kind of interesting to our viewers? Any particular services that are using your service that, beyond just the scale, but some interesting use of your service? Anything come to mind at all?
Well, there is a Sublime Text plugin, which is super cool. Yeah, so it's basically just a package that you can search CDNJS on, search for whatever library you want, and drop it into your file. And also there's a similar thing for codepen.io. So, yeah, they're great things to check out.
Krista has a web... Sorry, go ahead, Thomas.
Codepen.io is like jsfiddle.net. Just places where, I'm not sure if other viewers have seen it, but you can put HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in this little browser, and it renders it, and then you can share it to anyone you want.
Sure.
And JSFiddle and CodePen both have support for CDNJS, so you can load assets straight from CDNJS. And a lot of developers actually use CDNJS, and myself use it for prototyping. When I'm creating a quick page, if I have to go to the backend website, download the files, put them in the folder, serve the folder, it's a lot slower than if I've just copied the CDNJS URL. So I think a fair portion of our users actually don't use CDNJS in production. We do have 180,000 websites. I think it's up from 150,000 using it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people use it for development.
Sure. Yeah, I don't have to host the libraries locally. I don't have to find all the files and accumulate them. And we're going to demonstrate as soon as we're done here, guys. I want to show you at home. Yeah, I'd like to show you CDNJS just so that you can see how easy it is to find the libraries that you're looking for. We use jQuery as the example. Guys, how can we, beyond obviously making mention of CDNJS and how great you guys are, we use the service. So if you found that over the past little while that Category 5, the website has gotten faster and more optimized, CDNJS is a big part of that, moving our libraries off of our own hosting. We used to try to host things on S3, same kind of thing, going through CloudFront and everything. But the cache thing comes into play where you're still loading it from my S3 account every time that you... as soon as your cache is done. You're not getting it from a centralized source. So, guys, how can we support CDNJS as a free service? I want to know, what can we do to really get you guys some attention?
Well, first and foremost, we always love pull requests. So if you ever have a version that needs to be updated, feel free to come and update it for us.
Yeah, there you go. It's an interesting model that I can say... I really want to see the new version of X application on CDNJS, and I can actually go onto GitHub and I can do that, and that distributes it to the entire infrastructure of CDNJS. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And then you're a contributor to the CDNJS project as well, so open source contribution points.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, it's cdnjs.com, just as Ryan's footer there says, cdnjs.com. Check them out. We're going to take a quick look, boys. Thank you so much for being on the show. Nice to see you, and keep up the great work. Thanks very much, Robbie. Take care. Have a good night. Bye. This is Category 5 Technology TV. You'll find us online, www.category5.tv. I want to really quickly, Krista, if I may, just show what CDNJS looks like here. We're just going to bring it up.
I'll give you a little preview of everything we were just kind of talking about.
Yeah, cdnjs.com. Check this out. Really, really easy to use. I mean, we use jQuery as the example, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of us use jQuery. It's a fantastic library. I used to use it off of the Google CDN, and then I realized that there just wasn't a whole lot there. As Thomas was saying, there's 8 or 10 different libraries available. So I type in jQuery, and there's my jQuery library. So it automatically defaults to the newest version, minified. If I click on it, it will take me to all these different versions of jQuery. So if my program, if my web app or my website already features jQuery, all I have to do to change over to CDNJS is go here and say, okay, well, here's the minified version of 2.1.0, and I just copy that to my clipboard. I go back to my website code, and I replace the local or other hosted copy of jQuery with the CDNJS, And then it's
That's
hosted.
it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. And then it's pointing to this fantastic service that, as they were saying, is based on the CDN infrastructure of Cloudflare. So it is going to distribute, if I'm in the United States, I'm going to get it from a server in the United States. If I'm in Canada, I'm going to get it from a server close to Canada. If I'm, wherever you are, you're going to get it from an endpoint that is closer to home. So you're not getting the same kind of slow response times from those libraries. So fantastic work over at CDNJS. Recommend that you check those out and those guys out. And if you have any questions for them, interesting fact is you can go over to cdnjs.com, jump up to community chat, enter your name, say hello, and there's Ryan there. Hey, Ryan. That's all there is to it to getting a hold of these guys. So nice and easy. So cdnjs.com, a drop-in replacement for all of your libraries using JavaScript, CSS, all that kind of stuff. So great stuff. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
What do you think?
Cheers.
Cheers. Have a good night. Ready for it? We've got... I heard that you've got some great news stories. We've got Alkalines batteries to give away. I've got a full year supply that I want to give away. So these could be yours. So stick around. We're going to have those in just a couple minutes' time. Ready for it?
Wonderful. Let's jump in.
Take it away.
All right, folks. Here's the top stories from the Category5TV Newsroom. A judge in the U.S. has ordered Microsoft to hand over a customer's emails, even though the data is held in Ireland. The company had attempted to challenge the search warrant on the basis that the information was stored exclusively on computer servers outside of the U.S. Microsoft previously said it planned to offer business and government clients control over where their data resided. This followed concerns about data privacy raised by whistleblower Edward Snowden's leaks about U.S. spying. But the ruling potentially undermines that pledge. The judge said warrants for online data were different to other warrants. The search warrant, which was issued to Microsoft by U.S. authorities, sought information associated with a member of the public's email account, including their name, credit card details, and contents of all messages. Microsoft said it would continue to oppose the release of the Dublin stored data.
That's a little bit on the ominous side, because I think there's a certain... And even the Microsoft was basically saying to their clients, oh, well, we can host it in Ireland, and then it can't be touched by the American government. And then the government steps in and says, oh, yes, it can. What does that do?
Then your whole world just crashes down.
Well, that raises some real concerns and questions, because I've always been under the impression that being here in Canada, that we're a little safer from those kinds of things.
You would think.
Well, because it's always said, host in Canada, because of the privacy laws here being so strict, you have greater privacy. At least you can use encrypted storage, so even if the company handed it over, it's encrypted, so it's useless to them. But that they can override those geographic barriers and say, no, you got to give it up.
Well, it's a little bit scary.
What do you think?
Silence.
Yeah. Why won't you talk to me? I need to give you a microphone. Oh, what's this?
That looks like the Heartbleed bug. And it has turned cyber criminals from attackers into victims as researchers use it to grab material from chat rooms where they trade data.
Oh, touche, hackers.
Don't feel so bad. I don't. Discovered in early April, Heartbleed lets attackers steal data from computers using vulnerable versions of some widely used security programs. Now it has given anti-malware researchers access to forms that would otherwise be very hard to penetrate. The news comes as others warn that the bug will be a threat for many years. French anti-malware researcher Stephen Kay told the BBC the potential of this vulnerability affecting black hat services, where hackers use their skills for criminal ends, is just enormous. Heartbleed had put many such forms in a critical position, he said, leaving them vulnerable to attack using tools that exploit the bug.
Wow, you would think, maybe this is really naive of me, but you would think that hackers would be
protect yourself kind
they'd
of
be the first to know that it's time to upgrade OpenSSL. You would think.
Maybe they're just delusional, or they just think they're so good that nothing bad will ever happen to them.
But you'd think that now we'd be like, oh, maybe I should upgrade our server. Maybe they're old school hackers and their server is obsolete and it's probably just a bunch of pieces of toasters and stuff put together. And who knows?
That could very well be.
Pieces of toasters. You can.
It's a
quote
possibility, folks.
Me. Yeah.
Yahoo has announced 2 original TV series that will be shown on its website and mobile app. It makes Yahoo the latest technology firm to join the fast-growing market for digital video content. Yahoo said its first 2 original series will be comedies titled Other Space and Sin City Saints. According to Yahoo, they have received 500 million video views on Yahoo Screen in the U.S. since it launched its comedy lineup on the website 7 months ago. Kathy Savitt, there are 500 million video views.
500 million video views in how many months?
7 months.
7 months? Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Very cool.
I think I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just saying. Yeah, so Kathy Savitt, Chief Marketing Officer on Yahoo, said in a statement, "We are continuing to build our library with universally loved comedy, such as Saturday Night Live and Comedy Central." Yahoo said its 2 original series will also be available to viewers on Apple TV and Roku.
Hey, there you go.
Cool.
More content for you Roku fans.
Just
awesome.
Keep coming.
Yeah, we'll see if it's any good.
Of course it'll be good.
I mean Yahoo's programming.
Oh. It's different.
Obviously popular. Man. Wild.
Yes. Microsoft has warned consumers that a vulnerability in its Internet Explorer browser could let hackers gain access and user rights to their computer. The flaw affects Internet Explorer versions 6 to 11, and Microsoft said it was aware of limited targeted attacks to exploit it. The U.S. government advised users to consider using alternative web browsers until a security fix is released. While a fix will soon be making its way to Microsoft's newer operating systems, the issue may be of special concern to people still using Windows XP operating system. According to Symantec, this will be the first zero-day vulnerability that will not be patched for Windows XP users. Microsoft has suggested businesses and consumers still using the system should upgrade to a newer alternative.
Wow.
And while you're using a different browser, you could just...
install Linux.
Yeah. Do something, just maybe stick with it. Not go back. Just saying. You guys
Here
can
we
get I totally cut you off. That was rude of me.
Go ahead. I cut you off.
Oh, please.
We'll talk in a moment.
You guys can get the full stories at category5.tv/newsroom. The Category5.tv newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions by our community of viewers. If you have a story that you think is worthy of on-air mention, you can email us at newsroom@category5.tv. For the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Krista Wells.
Thanks, Krista.
Anytime.
My thought is that here we are. It's the 29th of April.
It is.
So it was
Is it the 29th? It is. Sorry.
21 days ago that Microsoft Windows XP. 21 days. And there is already that first exploit that is severe enough that you cannot continue running this OS. 21 days later, and it's already happened. That's serious. We knew it was coming. So.
It's just a matter of time.
Just a matter of 21 days. Mm-hmm. Okay, we are working on our latest music video. It's so exciting, and we want you to be able to submit your clips for our music video. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
We've extended the deadline by, what is it?
1 week.
By 1 week. So next Tuesday is the new deadline. So all you have to do is get over to my blog. It's baldnerd.com, and you're going to find a whole bunch of information there about how to get your video in for our music video.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun shooting some of the music video on Saturday. Did we ever? It was a blast. Thanks to everybody who came out.
It was fun.
I was waiting for you to say yes.
I know.
Yes,
I was trying to make it awkward.
Brilliant.
I think I succeeded.
Oh, okay.
Totally succeeded.
Well, to prove how much fun it was, I've started working on the video, started working on the production. It's not by any means complete.
So this is a rough cut.
A rough cut. I may actually change the music as well, but just to give you a brief idea as to how things are going with the video production, how things are coming together. Here we go.
Oh, wow. a new dance move.
Looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good.
I'm glad that entire clip was just all Krista being uber awkward. Thanks, Robbie.
Send in your clips. Get onto my blog at baldnerd.com.
What a guy.
You can send in your clips. Okay. I've got a year's supply of Alkalines batteries to give away. Check these out. There they are. Alkalines.com is where you're going to find those. It's a full year supply. And here we go for the Alkalines batteries. 1 year supply. These ballots were cast through Facebook, through our website, Category5TV. Nice to see so many new faces, and good luck to everybody for the year supply of Alkalines environmentally responsible batteries. There is 0% cadmium, lead, or mercury. Alkalines batteries. That means that they are landfill safe. We choose to still recycle them because they do have metal, and we might as well do our part that way as well. But these will not leak harmful chemicals into the earth. They are carbon neutral. That means that their carbon footprint is 0. The winner tonight is Brian Mayer.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Brian. You are the winner of a year supply of Alkalines batteries. There they are. This is not a year supply. These are some of the batteries.
You just have to be very careful what you use them for.
Yeah.
So it lasts a full year.
There you go. So all you got to do, Brian, is pop us a quick email live at category5.tv with your full shipping information address. Sometimes a courier likes, especially with something heavy like batteries, they're going to like to have your phone number as well. So please include that live at category5.tv. Congratulations to Brian, and thank you to everyone for sending in your ballots tonight. And thanks for tuning into Category 5 Technology TV and for liking Alkalines on Facebook. They're great. If you haven't already done so, head on over to their website, ecoalkalines.com. Find out more about them. You'll also see the link for their social media profiles. Make sure you like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, and make sure you say hi to them for us. Great bunch of people over there at Alkalines. So.
Yeah.
Congrats, Brian.
We have a whole bunch of new viewers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We'd like to say
Thanks
hi to
for
some
joining us.
of them.
Let's say hello.
All right. We have Rasig. Rasig, welcome.
Hey, welcome to the show.
I think this one is supposed to say, click it at Dave. Welcome. Mr. Naturopathy. Hello.
Hey, yeah. Welcome to the show.
Jay Lester.
Hey, Jay.
Oh, we have Roku 3 Lover.
Ah.
Welcome. Pete Peters.
Hey, Pete Peters.
Chia Owl. Welcome, Chia Owl. Shadow.
Hey, Shadow.
R. Perilla. Oh, welcome. I like your name. Just Amazing.
Hello.
I like that. Queen L. Welcome.
Hey.
Oh, and then let's try the...
Is there a hard one?
Rollalen Carr Jr.
I'm sure if we had some punctuation, it would be easier.
Yeah, it's probably a legit word, and I'm just, butchering it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then lastly, we have Julie JLT. Welcome.
Everybody, welcome to the show. Hey, if you haven't already registered, get over to www.category5.tv. You can sign up there. It's absolutely free and be a part of this exciting community here at Category 5 Technology TV. Want to also take a quick look at our viewer location map. Say hello to Mexico City. Who else have we got? Phoenix. Nice to see you in Prescott, just north of there. In Toronto, Ontario. And I see us
Buffalo.
up in Barrie there. Also, Cherry Hill and Philadelphia area, Atlantic City. There's Seattle over there. Nice to see you. Washington. Loads of viewers tuning in tonight from all around the world through Roku, through our website, category5.tv, on YouTube, all around the world. Nice to have you joining us. Thank you for tuning in to Category 5 Technology TV. We've got your viewer questions, and I would love to see if we can answer a few of those questions for you tonight. Thanks for sending them in live at category5.tv. Looks like we got some fans in Warsaw as well. Thanks for joining us.
Excellent. All right, just trying to find an awesome question. They're all awesome.
They're all awesome.
All right, here is one. Let me make my mouse work. It is from Buddha Belly.
Hey, Buddha Belly.
Question: Wednesday, I was looking for content to add to my Roku and found your channel. Yay!
Yes.
I decided to watch a couple of episodes to see if I liked it. Of course you did.
Of course.
After watching 55
Did you like it? Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat.
episodes
Did he
in 3.5 days.
55 episodes in 3.5 days?
Did you sleep?
I'm sorry.
Are your eyes bloodshot? Probably.
How many hours are there in 3.5 days? 24 times 3.5 is 84.
And then an hour per
Take
episode.
away 55. That only gave you 29 hours to sleep.
We like your dedication.
Yeah, we do. Thank you
We
for
like it a
spending
lot.
your entire... Wow.
3 days. Yes.
55 hours of video. Cool.
All right. It says, I decided that when I grow up, I want to be just like Robbie. Keep
Bald?
up the good work. Yeah, you
Wants
should
to be
be a
bald?
little more specific.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can shave.
Do you want me to even read the question, or you just want to
Is there a
glow in
question
that
too?
glowing
Yeah.
review
No,
right there?
let's just stop at I want to be just like Robbie.
How many people say that? I mean, besides your kids.
So far,
One.
You said it once, but you were mocking
Was I
me.
sarcastic?
You were very sarcastic.
Oh. I thought maybe I said something I was going to regret for a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Buddha Belly says, after watching the aforementioned episodes, I decided to load Point Linux and virtualize my Windows
Great.
7 Ultimate install.
Nice.
I want to keep it because I have Adobe CS6 Master Suite installed and the best app that Microsoft ever coded, OneNote. I have two 640 gigabyte USB 2 passports and a 2 terabyte USB 3 passport Ultra. How do they interact with the two OSs?
Okay.
Will info that I store when in Linux overwrite my Windows apps or data? Can I do a non-destructive partitioning and use them with both OSs? If you talk about this topic in general, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so you're still thinking along the lines, Buddha Belly, of physical computers, because Windows is not going to be able to read ext3, ext4 and write to them, right? Unless, you hack it and install some drivers and it can cause damage to the drive and blah, blah, blah. Similarly, NTFS drives, you're not going to install Linux on NTFS. You can read and write to NTFS, no problem, but you're not going to install Linux on NTFS. That's just poor performance. It fragments, another thing. With your virtual machine, here's where we just got to change the way that we think about our operating systems, because remember that is virtual hardware. So that means if your Linux computer, the host, has access to one of those passport drives, these external hard drives, and you format it as ext4, ext3, whatever it is, it's a Linux file system, right? Now, of course, Windows natively, if you plug that into a physical Windows computer, it wouldn't be able to read it. Well, no, hold on. It's not a physical Windows computer, it's a virtual machine, right? Running through Linux. So as long as Linux can see the hard drive, it can then virtualize the hard drive to the virtual machine, and the virtual machine will not know the difference. Windows 7 will just think it's another hard drive. So the way that I might approach that is I would connect it to my host, and then I might network it and share that. And then I'd use the virtual machine to access it through what the virtual machine thinks is a network. In fact, it's on the same computer. It's just connecting through a Samba share on your Linux machine. VirtualBox also includes the ability to add shared folders that are not actually Samba shares, but the Windows guest will think it's a Samba share, or where you go //.host/share name. You'll be able to access those drives again through a mapped drive. And then you'll be able to write to them as ext3, ext4 directly from your Windows virtual machine, and then you never have to worry about compatibility. Cool. I hope that helps. But it's just getting outside of that thought process of thinking that the virtual machine is going to behave exactly like a physical machine, because we're so used to, it has to be NTFS. No, it doesn't, because it's virtual. You could create a VMDK file on one of those passports, a virtual hard drive file, and mount it to your virtual machine and treat it just like you could even format that file as NTFS. It's wild. So much potential on what you can do with virtualization. So
Cool.
Good luck. Have fun. That's what it's all about. And keep a backup. You've got 3 external hard drives. You got room, right? So good stuff.
And you made Robbie's night. All right. Here's a question from Tennessee Frank.
Hey, Tennessee Frank.
Says, I recently moved from Kali Linux 1.06 to Point Linux 3.0b1. Is that right?
Cool.
Now that Debian testing has GQRX for software-defined radio in its repos, but I'm having a problem with gdebi,
gdebi package manager, the ability to
package
install
installer,
DEB files.
it's not working with Debian testing. I have quite a few .deb packages I need to install but can't because of the problem. Any idea how I can either fix gdebi or what alternative I can use to install some .deb packages?
I would, for the .deb packages, that's a Debian distributable installer. If you can't get it through the repositories, then you're going to need to use a deb pack, but I would try to get it from a repository first. I'm not sure about the application itself, but then I would jump into the terminal. And wherever your deb package is, really, really easy, is to just go dpkg space -i for install and then filename.deb. And that will actually install your deb pack directly from the deb file using the command line. Depending on your setup, you probably, with Point Linux, you're probably going to need a sudo so that you become super user before you run that command, and then just add the deb file name. So that should work for you. Let us know. But of course, that means if you've installed it with a deb pack, you're going to have to update the package every time there's a new version. It's easier, a little more simple to instead install that through a repository. Find a repository that will work, and then install it through apt or through Synaptic Package Manager. That way, as updates are rolled out, you will get the updates automatically. So that's kind of a bonus feature of Linux.
Great.
Thanks for the question.
Here's a comment from David and Lori Holbrook. Says,
hi, David. Hi, Lori.
Good to see you on Roku. Love the show. Can't wait to share you with my techie friend.
Cool. I can't wait to be shared with your techie friend.
That's Robbie's people.
Yeah,
right? No.
I get along with everybody. I try. But techie friends especially.
He loves them.
Love them. Yeah. Thanks for the email. I'm glad you're catching the show on Roku. Enjoy.
Question from Thornio. How can I regain my IRC nickname? I have forgotten my password and I cannot remember what I did to register it. Can you please help?
Okay. So I'm assuming that we're talking about the Category 5
I would think
chat room. So we just have to back up a little bit and understand, how does this chat room work? So this chat room is in fact a channel on a server called Freenode. It's an online IRC service, and they provide chat service over the Internet Relay Chat Protocol, IRC. So if you've forgotten your password, it's surprisingly easy to get it back. There's something that happened when you registered with NixServe. Okay? If you've registered, you know that you did that. If you registered with NixServe, you gave them your email address. So all that we need to do is bring up the Category 5 Technology TV chat room, and the reason that we're going to do that is because then we know that we are connected to Freenode, because that's where we're hosted. Now type /join, which is the command to join another chat room. And we're going to type in #, which is to designate we're about to type in the name of a chat room, and we're going to type in Freenode. That is the official chat room of the Freenode chat service. So if I hit enter there, now you'll see that a new window has popped up at the top here, a new tab I should say, and it's called #Freenode. If I click on that, you'll see there are currently 1,300 people talking at this time. Many of these people are in fact staff of Freenode. They have the resources, the power, the control, the magic button to send a password reset email to your registered email address. So all you have to do is in this chat room type in, could an op please, because we use our manners, send me a password reset email for the username Robbie F. That's my registered username, right? As soon as I hit enter on that, watch, and somebody's going to reply, and they're going to say, oh yeah, I can do that for you. You've got your email, and you're going to get an email that has your reset switch. A little bit different because you're used to websites where you've got to click a button and then enter your information. There's no interaction. These are real people
that's
that are really here to help you. So there you go. That's all you need to do. Go into Freenode.
Awesome.
Thanks for the question. Hope that helps.
Do we have time for one more?
Sure do.
All right. Question from Lanceman.
I have no idea. I didn't even look at the clock.
We're good.
Okay.
Hi, Robbie.
Lanceman!
I asked you a question last Tuesday about installing a Kodak printer driver on Linux Mint 16.
Oh, yes.
I was unable to be online during the show because my work schedule was changed at the last minute, and I was working during your show. That's unfortunate. I cannot find the original website where I download the file. However, the name of the file is...
Something long?
It's a name.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it is attached. There are a couple different websites that have this file available. This is one of them.
Okay.
It's packages.org. You may sign into my computer if you wish.
That's cool. TeamViewer is an amazing product to allow us to connect in, and I understand that you're not able to be here, Lanceman, tonight live. Connect with me. You've got my phone number. It's on our website, Category5.TV, right at the bottom, 2545 Cat5TV. Give me a call. We'll set something up. But basically, from what I've heard, and some people on YouTube have made the comment. I've got a couple of emails about your question saying that the Kodak printers just simply are not officially supported on Linux. That's Kodak's fault. That's not Linux's fault. Okay, that's Kodak being Kodak, and that's just what it is. I suggest that if I always recommend Brother printers. They work fantastically well on Linux. They're excellent product, and we use them here at the show. We love them. So if you're thinking about shopping around for a printer, grab a Brother printer. They are going to work out of the box on Linux. Perfect. For yours, we need to go through third-party drivers and things like that because they're not officially developed by Kodak. Like Brother actually gives you Linux drivers for your printer. Great. Easy. CUPS files, done. Kodak doesn't do that, so you got to go out hunting and try to find it. So
You gangster?
I am totally gangsta, yo. Is that how gangsters talk?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm scared because there might be gangsters watching.
Just smile.
Might be. Yeah.
I know we started a couple minutes late, so maybe you can just do a quick run through of this. He also just kind of wants to know how to sign into the chat room, which might be good for maybe some people don't know how to.
Just on to Category 5 on Freenode. If you go to our website, Category5.TV, just real quick here, let's bring it up. Category5.TV, and go to Interact and Chat Room. When we go there are a couple of different options. Okay, Chat Room. There we go. We can use our web chat, which is really, really easy. Use your own application, which is what I do when you see Pigeon up there. Or Help. If you go to Help, it will actually launch a video, and that will actually walk you through all the information that you need in order to get up and running. Otherwise, go use our web chat. Type in your name, DudeMan3, and then type in the CAPTCHA, 3239952, and hit connect. And you're in. Done.
Easy.
Yeah. Done and done. Hello. There we are. Hi. And so then if I go back here, you'll see the Dude Man actually. Hi. There he is.
I like how he's Dude Man 3, because there might be a 1 and 2.
I figured that there might be Dude Man registered. I mean, that's just a really great nick. So, grab it up. There you go. Hey, we're completely out of time.
We are.
How did that happen?
There's just too many good things on the show.
Too many amazing, great things. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Do check out CDNJS. Congratulations again to our winner of Alkalines batteries. Check them out, ecoalkalines.com. Thanks to them for providing the prize for us tonight in lieu of Earth Day last week. And just a little something to help you go green. Don't forget they're available in your major stores. So check around. I don't know what stores are local to you, where you are around the world. But do, walk in and say, I want Alkalines. Do you have Alkalines?
Please.
And if they don't, say, you need to get them. Otherwise,
Please.
I'm not shopping here anymore.
Please.
That's it. Have a great week, everybody. Next week is an exciting time because we're going to have 2 co-hosts.
Yeah. I think Erica Lalonde on.
Erica Lalonde is going to be sitting in this desk. And Krista Wells is going to be
all the way over
there. Yeah, over there. And she's going to be fielding your questions in the chat room just to try to get some, make sure that we're able to cover the chat room very, very well. So I'm pretty excited about that, and it's going to be a great time. Make sure you get us an email if you've got some questions live at Category5.TV.
That's it.
That's it. Thanks, Krista.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Tuesday night. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local show times in your area at category5.tv and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.